Hello, my name is Brian Wagner. I'm the chair of the Conservation Committee for the Pennsylvania Council of Trout Unlimited, past chair of the National Leadership Council's Climate Change Work Group, and a former council president. I'm standing here along one of my favorite local trout streams to talk to you about climate change and the impacts to our trout and cold water resources. What is National TU doing to address climate change? And more importantly, what can we do as chapters and members here in Pennsylvania? We're all starting to see the impacts to our cold water resources. Warmer air temperatures lead to warmer water temperatures. Extreme weather, droughts, and floods. We are seeing more frequent intense rain events, the kind that leads to severe flooding, bank erosion, and stream bed scouring, which further reduces habitat for both trout and macroinvertebrates. These intense storms, depending on timing, can also reduce spawning success. Often, the reaction to these floods leads to calls for stream clearing and channelization, which just makes things worse. We need to keep the connection between our streams and our floodplains intact, and should provide incentives for landowners to do so. With warming waters by late spring, many of our freestone trout streams are too warm to ethically fish. And by summer, with flows and hotter temperatures, trout stack up like cordwood in whatever cold water refuge that they can find. Climate change also amplifies other stressors attributed to land use issues and urbanization. If we don't do more now, we are going to lose trout streams. I think it's important to understand the history behind Trout Unlimited's climate change awareness and advocacy work. In the early 2000s, TU was an early leader on the climate change issue. In 2013, the Climate Change Work Group was formed within the National Leadership Council, and in 2015, realizing that climate change threatened TU's national conservation agenda, the Board of Trustees adopted the TU Policy Statement on Climate Change and Responsible Energy Development. The policy recognized the value of the core adaptation habitat work that TU does well in making streams more resilient to climate change, but also recognized the need for mitigation and reducing carbon. In 2018, the work group began nurturing a partnership with Citizens Climate Lobby to support the Energy Innovation and Carbon Dividend Act. This revenue-neutral bill would put a price on carbon at the source and distribute a dividend equally among households. The result would be to incentivize reducing carbon and to make America carbon neutral by 2050. Citizens Climate Lobby is a bipartisan organization with chapters across the United States, much like Trout Unlimited. Trout Unlimited also supports the 30 by 30 initiative plus 20. 30 by 30 is shorthand for a goal to permanently protect 30% of the lands and waters in the United States by 2030, which would protect habitat for at-risk species, sequester and store significant amounts of carbon, and help ensure that global temperatures do not reach higher than 1.5 degrees Celsius. In addition to protecting 30% of lands and waters in the United States, TU is also helping to restore an additional 20% through our on-the-ground efforts across the country. What can we do here in Pennsylvania as chapters and members? Trout Unlimited uses a protect, reconnect, and restore model. We protect the best through land conservation. Trout need to be able to move within their watershed to find cooler water and to survive and to enhance genetic diversity. We work to reconnect trout to cold water habitat through culvert assessment and replacement and dam removal. Much of this culvert work is being done by our national staff working here in Pennsylvania. We then restore the rest by designing habitat projects that feature adaptation measures to slow the harmful effects of temperature and rainfall extremes. By planting trees, we aid in carbon sequestration and provide shade to keep streams cool. What else can we do? We can promote angler science, like stream temperature, flow monitoring, and phenology projects. We can partner with our local Citizens Climate Lobby chapter. We can also strive to reduce our own carbon footprint. We can share climate change information, blogs, and posts by Trout Unlimited on social media. But most importantly, we can advocate for climate change solutions by addressing our Pennsylvania legislators during stream walks and in-district visits. Trout Unlimited members have a unique and powerful voice that legislators often listen to. Even if your legislator is on board, offer support and let them know what Trout Unlimited has to offer. Please join me while we can still make a difference. Thank you.